Munchen returned to winning ways this past weekend as they remain top of the table and, of course, out on their own. Can anyone catch them or make even ground? We'll talk about that and much more next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today is match number 12, that's right, over in Deutschland. And we'll get to that in a second. If you're new, where you've been, smash your subscribe, one subscribe for Blackburn Rovers, Bundesliga, whoa, football, we're going to all here under one roof. That's right, Bayern back to winning ways, of course, dropping points last time around. And, of course, but the chasing back still a long, long way away to making this a title race. But can it change this coming week? We'll get into all of that much more in a second. If you're new, again, hit the subscribe. And a big shout out to the members and the patrons, of course. But we are going to jump into the deep end and review this. It is the Bundesliga. We're back. Of course, we're talking about all the action from, of course, this past weekend. And this was it. That's right. What we're going to do is run through the predictions on the left-hand side against the real scorelines on the right. Kick it all off with a 1-1 draw at Mainz. That's right. Mainz 1, Hoffenheim 1. Got that one spot on the nose. Meanwhile, Bayern with a 6-2 win over Freiburg. I went with a 3-0 win. What a game it was, though, at Dortmund. 3-3 thriller. Of course, Dortmund and Stuttgart splitting the points. I went with the home win on that one. Leverkusen with a 3-1 win over Wolfsburg. I went with a 2-0 win. Augsburg with a 1 win over Hamburg, who seem to be dropping down a little bit like a stone here. However, Gladbach are on the rise here with a 3-0 win over Heidenheim. Meanwhile, another ding-dong classic over at Köln. 7-goal thriller. Frankfurt winning 4-3 on the road. Leipzig with a 2-0 win over Werder Bremen in the Werder derby there. And then, of course, Union Berlin with a cheeky away win against St. Pauli. The table is over here, and as you see it, Bayern Munich 6 points clear at the top of the table over Leipzig, of course, who are in second, and Leverkusen third. Dortmund are in fourth. If the season was to end today, we would say goodbye to Heidenheim, we would say goodbye to Mainz, of course, and my boys Mönchengladbach are up to 12. Happy days, of course. That is the situation there. Of course, I want to remind you that we are doing a prediction league, but I'm not going to give you an update today. I'm going to give you an update next time around as we try to just get through the motions here as a busy old week. Stateside, of course, with the holiday just around the corner. But that is that. In fact, I didn't get to show you the link. That's the link right there. Get on amongst it. We'll bring you back to date very, very soon. So stick with me, of course, as we get into this, of course, match number 12 over in Germany. So let's jump in the deep end, kick it all off with my boys up against high-flying RB Leipzig. That's right. Coming to the Borussia Park, Gugen Polanski seems to have got himself a job here. I don't know if it's confirmed as a permanent one or interim one to the end of the season, but he's won 5 in the bounce for Mönchengladbach. They sit 12th right now, 12 points for them. Up against Leipzig under Oli Werner. They sit second right now, 25 points for them. They've also won 5 out of the last 6 matches. Coming into this, Gladbach are on the back of that 3-0 win over Heidenheim. Of course, last home match competitively was a 3-1 win over Köln. It's actually been back-to-back 3-1 wins for Mönchengladbach at their own backyard here. Up against Leipzig, though, who are high flyers, a 2-0 win over Leipzig. Their last away match, though, was a defeat, losing to Hoffenheim, so it could be opportunity knocks here for Mönchengladbach. The form book says that, but the bookies say RB Leipzig for the W here. I'm going to go, I've got backing my boys not to lose this game. I've gone with a 1-1 draw here on a Friday night. All eyes on this one. So we'll see if I'm right or wrong, but to hopefully continue that momentum there for Mönchengladbach. Meanwhile, Bayern Munich up against St. Pauli, coming to over the Allianz Arena. Vinny Company's boys are top of the pops, 31 points for them. They were unbeaten at least the whole season. We're looking at 11 games right now. But they won 5 of the last 6. Up against St. Pauli, Alexander Blezin. They are 16th right now, 7 points for them, losing 5 out of the last 6 matches, of course, losing to Union Berlin most recently. They've only scored the 1 goal in the last 3, 4, 5 competitive matches. So St. Pauli are in a bit of trouble there, guys. Standing in the way, of course, it is Bayern. Of course, they've put 6 past Freiburg most recently. Busy week, though, for Bayern with Arsenal on the agenda as well in the Champions League. This is one-way traffic, and I think we could be in for a landslide as well, considering St. Pauli don't know where the back of the net are. So I'm going to go with Bayern. I'm going to go 3-0, but it could even be 13-0. It could be that bad. We'll see just how easy they take on them this time around. Meanwhile, Werder Bremen, they're taking on Köln. That's right, coming at you at the Weserstadion. Horst Stefan's in charge. They're 9th at the table, 15 points for them, just 1 defeat in the last 6. Up against Köln and Lukas Kwasnic, 10th in the table, 14 points for them, just 1 win in the last 6. They are coming in on the back of a defeat of Köln. 7-goal thriller, 4-3 loss to Frankfurt. In fact, they've conceded 7 goals in the last 2 games of Köln heading into this. Up against Bremen, who did lose to Leipzig in the Oli Werner derby there. The last couple of home wins, though, 3 home wins on the bounce at the least. It could be more than that for Bremen. So at home, they are different beast. The bookies see that. They've identified that. of course, and I think I've identified that as well. I've gone with a 2-1 win, Werder Bremen, to continue the great season in ninth. Of course, I could push them up a little bit further in the table as well. We'll see who comes out smelling of roses. Meanwhile, Union Berlin against Heidenheim, coming at the Alte Alten Forsterei. Berlin under Stefan Baumgart, they sit 8th right now, 15 points for them, just 1 defeat in the last 6. Standing in the ways are Heidenheim under Frank Schmidt, who are rock bottom, 18th at the table, just 5 points for them. Back-to-back defeats coming into this. They did lose to Mönchengladbach most recently. They're also losing the last away match 6-0 to Leverkusen. They've conceded 9 goals in the last 2. Not good stuff for them. Berlin, though, with that cheeky, all-important 1-0 away win to St. Pauli to keep them moving. Back-to-back home draws for Berlin. Looking at the last 4, though, they're unbeaten as well in the last 4, including that elusive draw against Bayern, which, of course, made them drop points for the first time. The bookies see that as well. Identified Union Berlin as clear favourites. I've gone with the 1-0 win. Not big, not impressive, but enough. 3 points in the bag, and, of course, that would keep them in at least 8th in the table. Let's go to Hoffenheim then as they take on Augsburg, coming at you at the Priso Arena. Christian Ilsener's boys are 7th right now, 20 points for them, just 1 defeat in the last 6. Up against Augsburg under Sandro Wagner, they are 13th right now, 10 points for them, just 1 win in the last 6. That 1 win was most recent. It was against, It was against Hamburg, of course. That was at home. There were a couple of away matches, though. Not the best for Augsburg, at least back-to-back games without a win. They haven't won in the last 4 away matches, of course. Stretching back, I think their first and only win was their first game of the season away to Freiburg. Standing in the way are, of course, Hoffenheim, who are doing all right now, just 1 defeat in the last 6. The bookies will see Hoffenheim as the favourite. I don't know if I've got a draw here or a home win. I've gone with the home win. I've gone with my head on this one. Of course, Hoffenheim are proving everyone wrong this season and flying up the table. Meanwhile, what a game we have over at the Bay Arena. It is Leverkusen. It is Dortmund. It's coming at you, of course, on the 29th of November. Kasper Hujman's Leverkusen are 3rd right now, 23 points for them, just 1 defeat in the last 6. Up against Dortmund and Niko Kovac, they are 4th with 24 points, just 1 defeat in the last 6 as well. But they are winless in the last 3 of Dortmund in all competitions heading into this one. Both sides are in action in the Champions League, with Leverkusen taking on Man City on the road, Dortmund hosting Villarreal, of course. But the bookies on this one, they do slightly lean in favour of Leverkusen, who are on the back of that 3-1 win over Wolfsburg. The last home match was that 6-0 win over Heidenheim. As for Dortmund, again, winless in the last 3. The last away match in the Bundesliga resulted in a draw, of course. Tight one, this one. It could even be a draw. I've gone with a 2-2 on this one, as I can't really separate the two sides right now, and that means advantage everybody else in the chasing pack. Let's go to Hamburg then, against Stuttgart on Sonntag, the 30th of November at the Volkspark Stadion. Hamburg and Merlin Polzen, they sit 14th right now, 9 points for them. They've won 1, they lost 1, they drew 1 in the last 3 matches. Up against them today is Stuttgart and Sebastian Hoeneß. They sit 5th right now, 22 points for them, just 1 defeat. In the last 6 matches, of course, they are on the back of that epic 3-3 away to Dortmund, of course. So back-to-back away, actually 3 matches on the road here for Stuttgart. Check me. I said check me. 4 away matches on the bounce here for Stuttgart. This is their second. This will be their third. Goodness gracious me. The second is against Go Ahead Eagles in Europe there. As for Hamburg, they got a complete opposite. They've got 3 home matches on the bounce here, and they've got 4 in the last 5. So next 5. So good stretch of games here for Hamburg to make it a difficult place to go. They're on the back of that 1-0 loss to Augsburg. Looking at the bookies odds, though, of course, bookies are backing Stuttgart here. It's tighter than you would imagine. I've gone with the 2-1 win, though, Stuttgart to win it. Hamburg taking the L. Let's go to Frankfurt then as they take on Wolfsburg. Coming at you at the Deutsche Bank Park. Dino Topmuller's Frankfurt are 6th right now, 20 points for them. Just 1 defeat in the last 6. Up against Wolfsburg and Daniel Bauer, they sit 15th right now, 8 points for them. 5 defeats in the last 6. 4 defeats on the spin. Grim stuff for Wolfsburg. They did lose to Leverkusen most recently. The last away match was a 2-1 loss against Bremen, of course. It's not been a happy stomping ground. The last away match, though, was back in the 25th of October against Hamburg, so it wasn't too long ago. But can they get it against a high-flying Frankfurt side who won back-to-back games, beating Köln, beating Mainz, of course. They're unbeaten in a good stretch of games as well. Bookies don't see it. Bookies back in Frankfurt. I'm back in Frankfurt. 2-0 winners at the Deutsche Bank Park. Let's go to wrap it up then, shall we? Freiburg against Mainz. Then shall we come into the Europa Park Stadion. Julian Schuster's Freiburg are 11th with 13 points right now. Defeat lasted around, but coming into this in 58% form. Standing in the way are Mainz and Bo Henriksen. They are 17th right now, 6 points for them. Just 1 defeat though in the last 4 matches. Look at it a different way though. 1 win in 6 for Mainz. Of course, they are, both of the sides are in European action this week. That's why this game's been pushed to its latest point. Mainz are on the back of a 1-1 scoreline at home to Hoffenheim. Freiburg with that 6-2 loss to Bayern still ringing in their ears. The bookies, though, for this one, they'll back Freiburg, who are, of course, a little bit better off than Mainz. It's not that bad a situation. And I think I've gone that way as well. I think I've gone with Freiburg to win here. 3-1 win to end it all on 30th of November. And if I'm right, guys, this is what the table will look like. It'll be Bayern, it'll be Leipzig, it'll be Stuttgart making ground here to third, and Bayer Leverkusen into fourth. Going down, Heidenheim, Mainz, St. Pauli in a bit of trouble. That's, of course, what I think. Let me know what you think down below. I look forward to seeing you back next time around as we look forward to, of course, the next round of games. Until then, subscribe, smash like, catch you later. We're done.